Donald Trump says the media's got him all wrong in a wide-ranging exclusive interview with Larry King, showing today here on RT. Also to come, Salah.
So that's how close the front line is, just literally just across the road here.
We look into the disturbing war tactics employed by ISIL as it's driven out of its stronghold in Libya. And rehab for jihadists. France transforms an old countryside mansion into a de-radicalisation centre with the aim of combating flourishing Islamist extremism. Hello, welcome. It's just gone midday here in Moscow. You're watching RT International. Now, Donald Trump has spoken exclusively with Larry King here in RT for the first time since becoming a US presidential hopeful.
One-on-one with GOP presidential nominee Donald Trump on this edition of Politics.
Well, the Republican nominee is frequently accused by the media of having close ties with Russia, and some outlets even suggest that President Putin is helping Trump to get into the White House. Larry King put those accusations to the billionaire.
This bromance between Trump and Putin.
A man running for president, just ask Russia to hack America.
He's an unwitting agent of the Russian Federation.
The media has been unbelievably dishonest. I mean, they'll take a statement that you make which is perfect and they'll cut it up and chop it up and shorten it or lengthen it or do something with it, and all of a sudden it doesn't look as good as it did when you actually said it. But there's tremendous dishonesty with the media. Not all of it, obviously, but tremendous dishonesty.
U.S. intelligence and law enforcement agencies reportedly are investigating whether Russia launched a covert operation to disrupt the 2016 election. What do you make of that?
I don't know. I mean, I've been hearing about it. I've been reading about it. I think it's probably unlikely. I think maybe the Democrats are putting that out. Who knows? But I think that it's pretty unlikely. But, you know, who knows? I hope that if they are doing something, I hope that somebody's going to be able to find out so they can end it, because that would not be appropriate at all.
Well, aside from possible Russian sympathies, some in the media have also questioned Trump's knowledge of foreign policy, but he said that he is simply keeping his cards close to his chest.
I'm tired of watching these people get up, these politicians, and tell the enemy exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to be there, when we're going to leave, like the way we left Iraq. What a disaster that was. And, you know, I don't like talking about it, I'll be honest with you. And I'll meet with generals and the generals, and we'll find out. Look, we've been fighting this war for 15 years. This war's gone on forever, you know, the whole Middle East thing. And we've spent $6 trillion on that war. We've got, and we're in far worse shape than if we never went over there. But once we went in, Larry, we shouldn't have gotten out the way we got out. And the way they got out really caused ISIS.
Well, RT America host and political commentator Ed Schultz now explains why he believes mainstream news outlets cannot follow Trump's line of thinking and choose to attack him.
I believe that Donald Trump has fixed a lot of things in the way he's presenting himself. I think that the way he speaks and the culture he comes from is being hard to interpret by the mainstream media. You have a businessman who has done a lot of things, who has made a lot of changes. His culture has changed. I'm going to do what I got to do to get the job done. That's where he is. And then you've got the mainstream media over here taking every word literally, all the way to the dictionary. But you said this, and you said this yesterday, and there's a conflict of understanding here. And I think that Trump is one of these guys that looks at the big picture, and I think his supporters have figured that out. He will do something about illegal immigration. He is committed to that. Now, as a journalist, that's what I accept. The mainstream media, they have a hard time understanding what Donald Trump's talking about, and I don't know why. I think the American people understand what he's saying.
Well, let's have a look at Trump's main policies then. Trump's promising to shake up the financial system by repealing regulations on Wall Street. He gained notoriety too with his call for a wall to be built to stop illegal migrants entering the US from Mexico, as well as a temporary ban on Muslims entering the country. And then in the Middle East, Trump wants to bomb Islamic State's oil sites, and he claims that, if elected, he would give the Pentagon 30 days to present a plan for wiping out the terrorist group. Trump says he didn't necessarily decide to run for the presidency out of choice, but that he felt an obligation to do so due to a lack of faith in other candidates, namely Hillary Clinton.
I mean, I wish he did a phenomenal job and we wouldn't have all these problems. I wouldn't be running. I'd be, having dinner with you someplace maybe.
And you can watch Larry King's full and frank interview with Donald Trump there in just over an hour's time as they go head-to-head here on RT International.